Anytime you go to take your body measurements, it's best to try to do them at the same time of day each time you take your measurements. You can have someone there to help you, but this tutorial will help you do it if you're on your own. You also want to make sure that you're probably naked when you take the picture so that you're not overlapping your clothing and getting a little extra girth more than what you actually have. So using a tape like this, a regular tailor's tape, will be best. If you have like an Orbit tape or the ones that connect, that's fine too, but I found that these are actually easier to use. So we'll start with the upper arm. When you go to take your upper arm measurement, you'll place your arm out to the side and go ahead and flex your arm. That way you can have the maximum height of your tricep and bicep, but rather than taking the measurement there, you'll go ahead and poke it straight back off to the side. That's only for placement, just so that you know where to measure from. You want to make sure that you're measuring in the same spot each time. Whenever you write down your measurements, try to write them down to the closest 1/8 inch. So do try to get used to your normal tape measurements. After you take that measure and write that one down, just so you know, the easiest thing to do is just take the right side measurements. So for the ones that are on the trunk, you'll do the trunk measurements, but rather than doing right and left, just take the right side measurements unless you're doing something specific like bodybuilding, and I'll notify you as to whether or not we need both sides. If you're taking your shoulder measurements, go ahead and put it snugly around the back of your shoulders. And you usually want to try to end up about 1 inch away from the top of your shoulders. Keep everything nice and flat. You'll take that measurement there. So once you take that measurement down, usually using a mirror will help with this one. Once you take that one, the next one is going to be your chest. So for women and men, it's going to be parallel to the floor along your back and around the largest girth of your chest. So for women, it's usually around the area of the nipples. For guys, might be a little bit higher. But obviously I'm not that great at this. So right there, you'll get your chest measurement there. And then for your abdomen, rather than actually going around the belly button or something specific, you're going to go around the smallest portion of the waist. So for some people that may be higher, depends on how long your torso is and where your ribs and hips come together. Now I'm doing this with my shirt down, but you'll do this without your shirt down. But you'll actually take it in the smallest area of your waist. So you'll take that measurement there and try not to pull too tight. Try to let it just sit lightly. So if I did have my shirt up, it would be sitting lightly on the skin. It wouldn't be pulling the skin together. The next one you'll take is for the hips. We want to go around the largest part of the butt and the widest section of the hips. That's usually on the same plane, so that'll be nice and parallel. This is probably one of the easier measurements that you'll take, just like that, nice and straight. Next measurement is going to be the leg. Just for standardization, it's best to start at the top of the patella and go 6 inches up, and then from that point you'll measure all the way around. And that's not standard for everyone, but that's just the way that we're going to do it. So 6 inches higher, even if you have shorter legs. So you'll take that measurement there. And the last important measure is going to be the girth of your calf. It's usually best to try to go around the widest part of your calf, so try to pay close attention as to where that girth lies. So the largest part of the gastroc, go around there, and you'll record that measurement. So those are the most important measurements, especially if your goals are weight loss. You definitely want to pay close attention to the chest, abdomen, and hip area. The other measurements are important too, but those are the ones that we focus on the most.